So we all remember the time, right? When we were young kids and we were about to play our favorite video game console and then put on our favorite video game. And then years later, we get nostalgic from it. Today, we're going to be talking about the games I grew up with. Yo, what up? It's Gabriel Hund back again with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the top 10 games that make me feel the most nostalgic. So I think we all experienced nostalgia in the past, and especially with like games, whether you have like an Xbox, a Wii U, or a PlayStation. Honestly, when I grew up, I didn't really have a lot of gaming consoles. I only had an Xbox growing up, and now I have like a Nintendo Switch, and I had an Xbox 360 when I was growing up, but I don't know if it still works because it's not plugged in. But anyways, today we're going to be reviewing the top 10 games of my childhood that I grew up with. By the way, we're not going to include Speedrun 4 or Baldi's Basics, because those were games that I like. So the games that I'm going to be talking about is the games I experienced from 3 to 10 years old, let's say. And I experienced Baldi's Basics when I was 13. Well, that's when I got really into the game. And honestly, Speedrun 4, I never really played it when I was a kid. I never had Roblox or anything. I actually started getting really into it when I basically started this YouTube channel. But anyways, let's get on to it. So I'm just letting you know that some of these games are babyish for children, so don't judge me or anything, about in the comments about me liking this content, because this was when I was a kid. I might be into some kid stuff I explain in this video, but not all of it. So number 10 on this list, we're going to be talking about Tree Frog Treasure. So Tree Frog Treasure is basically this game, and you're a tree frog, and you solve math problems that are tied to these chains. And then you have to find this shell to awaken the bug to go to the next level. This game has 3 worlds. World 1 is in the jungle, and World 2 is in a crystal area, and then World 3 is in the desert. And each world will have different bugs. The first world will have a cicada or something. And then the second world will have a firefly, and then the third world will have a butterfly. So, yeah, I remember when I was 6 years old, I would always playing this game at my school. I saw my other classmates playing it, and I thought it was just a really cool game, and I wanted to be a part of it. It also kind of reminds me of Angry Birds, because it also has kind of the same movements. When you move your mouse, it has that arrow, kind of like Angry Birds has it. But yeah, this was a really cool game I grew up with. So the next game we're going to talk about is technically not a game. It's more like a learning website, but it kind of counts. So number 9, we have Starfall, which is a game I grew up with in my childhood, which is it has a lot of sections you could choose. I always used to going in the multiplication sections, and I mean, there's nothing really much to talk about it. I mean, it wasn't a special part. Probably when I was younger, but not really a special part when I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, it was special, but What I really liked about the multiplication section is that it had like four like sections. Like one of the sections would be doing math with this little golden doodle thing. And then you could also do like matching games. And then you could also like, I don't know, there's nothing really to talk about. So, all right, so number 8 we have the Lego Batman 2. Like I said, I had an Xbox 360 while growing up, so I played that game on the Xbox 360. I didn't know what else to put up there, so I just decided to put this. But it definitely is nostalgic. I remember listening to the music. Trust me, the music's like a banger, honestly. And then I just really, loved just walking around. Me and my brother would always play this game together. And I remember when I was younger, I would always play as Joker, and I would just go around, like, killing people. Don't take that seriously. This is a video game, alright? So, yeah, I will always go around the town killing people. And, I also like how you have to fight the criminals, because, like, I feel like the criminals are, like, really funny as well. I like their catchphrase, "Let's get him!" Just, this game is really nostalgic, so. Alright, so the next one is technically not a game, but it is, like, something, interactive. Number 7, we got Elf Yourself, which is this app, where you can, like, customize your own elf with, like, camera roll and stuff. And then you can, like, have up to 5 elves, and you can, like, choose, whatever, like, you can have them dancing and everything, and you can choose, like, what do you want the video to be. I remember playing this, a lot. I still do have the app, actually. I don't really have anything else to say. Besides, this game, is really interactive, so if you want to buy it, it's on the App Store. So, I mean, that's technically all I have to say about this. Alright, so now we're getting to the parts that gave me the most nostalgia, and were definitely a big part of my life. So, number 6, we have Smash Bros. 64. So, my grandparents used to have this Nintendo 64 when I was growing up. But now it belongs to my Uncle Steve. This was the only game I would play on their 64. This was probably, like, one of the best Smash Bros. Games. I would always play as Pikachu, and I remember, like, I definitely, like, wanted to unlock, because I unlocked, Falcon Punch. Well, no, it was Captain Falcon. And Jigglypuff. And I wanted to unlock, Luigi and Ness, because those were the only two I didn't unlock. I just really like the designs on all these characters. It's just really unique. And, the music is just really nostalgic. Yeah. Alright, so number 5, we have a Sesame Street game called Find the Number. So, Find the Number was in this Sesame Street PC game called Learn, Play, and Grow. And this game gave you a list of activities, whether it was numbers, letters, colors, shapes, the people in your name, just all that. One of the activities in the number section was Find the Number, where Cookie Monster tells you to find a certain number, and if you get that number right, if you find it, then a number of foods will appear. So from 1 to 5, there would be 2 foods being randomized if you get those numbers right. But if it was from 6 to 10, then it would just be 1 appearing over and over again if you get that number right. Or is it? Because when I looked at the Sesame Street Find the Number wiki, I saw there were 8 slices of pizza and 9 bottles of milk. In the PC game I have, it's 8 hot dogs and 9 cookies. So there's probably a lot of lost footage of, certain foods in the game that are probably, out there. Like, because it was on the Sesame Street website throughout, like, 2010 to 2013. I remember playing that game when I was, like, 4 years old, but my brain's, like, too fuzzy to, like, remember it. It was also, before it was called Sesame Street Learn, Play, and Grow, it was, it actually used to be called Sesame Street Toddler, which was released in 2002, which that game is, I think, lost. So, honestly, who knows what could have happened to these, like, this certain footage. And in fact, I went back to the wiki page a while ago, and it turned out all those pictures were, like, colored in, like, certain colors. So this hunt is probably mysterious, and who knows what will happen. But anyways, let me show you a reanimation I did of what the 8 slices of pizza would have looked like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Alright, so number 4 we have Minion Rush. So I think a lot of you people have heard about this game. Minion Rush is this game where you're a minion and you run in certain locations and you collect bananas and dodge obstacles. Basically that. Honestly, I think Minion Rush is just a really unique game and has a lot of unique locations from, like, the movie. My favorite location is El Macho's lair. I think not just El Macho's the coolest villain, but has the most coolest location in the franchise. I definitely liked going in that area when I was, like, younger, and I always, like, definitely wanted to go in that area. Honestly, I heard about the new Minion Rush update, and I'm kind of concerned because I think they got rid of a lot of locations. They're saying they're going to bring them back, but yeah, hopefully they do this update right, because I would hate to see if they got rid of, like, El Macho's lair and, the other cool locations. So the next one we're going to be talking about is not really a game, but more like an educational platform. So number 3 we have Vizzle. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why these clips don't look right, is because I reanimated the, like, original version of the game. So Vizzle is like this educational platform for, like, people with autism, like me. And you can do, like, certain activities, like games. I guess technically it is a game. Or, like, quizzes or books, And if you get, like, a question right, a reinforcer will, like, pop up. I'm showing you, like, the clips I'm showing you are clips from, like, the original version. And yeah, I know this is, like, animated by me, but I'm showing you about, like, what it would have, looked like. Because honestly, there is, you can find some clips of it on YouTube, just not, like, the reinforcers or anything. Like, so, I think it's, like, cool that I'm, showing you this. Honestly, this platform was definitely a part of my childhood. I definitely, really liked the reinforcers. And, they definitely made me feel really nostalgic. Like the smiley face or the cat reinforcer. Honestly, when they went to Vizzle Next Gen, I mean, things were still going, great. But, like, during the pandemic, the original website got, like, taken down, which caused a lot of media to be lost, including, like, reinforcers, then in, like, 2023, this is where Vizzle actually kind of started to go downhill. They actually, like, replaced all their, like, reinforcers. One good thing I can give about the newer version of Vizzle is that they brought back the great job sign after a while. But still, it's not really like, the best era of Vizzle, by the way. Honestly, I say the clips I'm showing you now is the best era.
The options really are endless.
So at number 2, we have Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. So when I was younger, I didn't have, any Nintendo stuff, because I got the Nintendo Switch in, during the pandemic. But before the Nintendo Switch, I didn't have any, things like the Wii U or, PlayStation or anything, or the 64. My grandma had the 64. We only had an Xbox 360, and we also had an iPad where I could, with games I could play on. And one of those games were Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. When I was 10 years old, I got it on the Xbox and DS. And there's just, this game is just the example of just a banger. Had a lot of banger songs. It had just awesome, cool looking tracks. And it just had, it just had everything, My favorite track is probably Sandy Drifts. It actually used to be Rumble Ramps and Monkey Target, but I didn't know Sandy Drifts existed until I got the Xbox, on the Xbox. So since we had no Mario Kart, this was the game I played instead of Mario Kart. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it's better than Mario Kart. I have Mario Kart on the Nintendo Switch. And every time I play Mario Kart, I just, I gotta, play some tracks from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. It's just amazing. Just, listen to this. You cannot argue. That is just a banger, dude. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. And the honorable mentions are going to be games that I really like now, but that weren't in my childhood. So, let's talk about them. Baldi's Basics. If you guys watch my videos, you'll probably know how much I like Baldi's Basics. Baldi's Basics is basically a game where you have to collect all these notebooks and run away from a crazy math teacher that chases you with a ruler. Speedrun 4. You guys probably also know that I like this, because you watch my vids. Speedrun 4 is basically a game where you're in this, world and you have to, run to the next world. And the levels get more trickier on the way. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the game that takes first place is the Treasures of Montezuma. So basically, if you don't know what this game is, it's basically this game where you have to, solve puzzles and, collect, tikis that, have, power inside. And they can be, helpful along the way. The red one shoots fireballs. The purple one, gives tokens or something. The silver one, paints tokens. And then the blue one, basically, destroys, the black tokens that you gotta get rid of. The yellow one gives you a score frenzy. The green one collects gems. And the orange one, adds time. So, honestly, what I really like about this game is just, how colorful, the characters and tikis are. Honestly, my favorite one's the red one. He's a pretty cool, tiki, also probably the most powerful. And also red's basically my favorite color, so obviously, I'm gonna like the red tiki. I remember, when I was younger, I would always play this game, all the time. And I even, played the second game as well. I probably played, 3 and 4 once, but, not the 5th one. Honestly, I played this on the iPad, so I was never actually able to use the blue tiki, unfortunately. But you know, it's fine. But this game ranks the first. But anyways, that's going to be all for this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah. Peace.